Hi, welcome back. I'm Richard the Painter. Today we are on with one of the MGBs. So this one is the purple one, we'll call it. So we've bare metaled everything. You'll probably see in a thumbnail anyway. So we've bare metaled everything, we've just masked it, and before I go home I need to get it into epoxy, so that's basically what we're going to do today. So we're going to try, I've just got a couple more bits to tidy up with the masking, and then I need a bigger tripod. I've just realised that one I've ordered is no way near big enough, so room for further improvement with that one. And yeah, so I'll finish these loose ends. I don't know if I can get this mounted on there actually, so okay. So basically we'll just put a sheet over to hide the engine. You'd have probably already seen the first video. If you haven't, you need to check the first video out. You'll see why we've sheeted the engine bay. Right, so I'm just going to try and attempt to put you on here. Now the masking was only put on very quickly because we were sanding, but I decided there's nothing wrong with it, so I'm going to reuse that piece. I've just got to mask the edges properly, that's all. So you see down there, just got an edge to mask, stuff like that. That's gone on there. You roughly see what I'm doing. So very important, if you've got something that's bare metal, get it sealed up as fast as you can, for one. Two, preferably use something like an epoxy or something along those lines to get it sealed. Etch primers are okay, but you have to overcoat it quite quickly. A lot of etch primers are hydroscopic, so it's alright using them, but you need to coat them quickly, otherwise it'll suck in all the moisture from the atmosphere and will ruin a good job down the road if you're not careful. Stuff like, where are we? Stuff like micro blistering, failed paint, it can all add into things if you're not careful. One of the little tests you can do really, where's my, believe it or not, I was trying to be prepared. Go around there. So one of the things you can do is take a little blow lamp, one of these, as you can see, that type of thing, and you'll see, you might not see it on the camera, but you'll have an idea of what I'm on about, possibly. And now my phone's ringing. I will be back. Right, sorry about that, I'm back again. For you, this video would have just carried on, no doubt, anyway. What was I doing? Yeah, if you're going to do that, that was purely just as a visual. I don't know if it showed up on the camera or not. We'll have to find out when we get it uploaded. But basically, you can see the moisture burn off the panel. So that was purely a visual, so you can see what I'm trying to achieve, if you like. So now what we're going to do is, now it's in the booth, I'm just going to double check my masking, make sure nothing's going to fly off or anything like that, make sure we get all around the edges. While that's doing that, I'm going to switch the booth on, and initially I'm going to run it quite high just to burn off any of that moisture. While that's running up to temperature, I'm going to go and mix the epoxy up, and I believe I've got blue epoxy actually. I think I'd bought loads because I knew we had 2 dark coloured MGs coming, and I think I bought 5 or 6 litres or something like that. Completely irrelevant to the video anyway, but it's going to be a dark blue epoxy. That'll seal everything in. Then we don't have to worry about touching the bare metal or anything like that. So when it's bare metal, you want to get it coated as quickly as you can. Don't touch it with your hands. You're liable to leave a big handprint or fingerprints and stuff like that all over it. The epoxy seals everything in, and then you can do any filler work, any adjustments on top of that without affecting the bare metal. Some people will bare metal it, they'll do loads of metal work, depending on how it's done and who's doing it, but some people would bare metal it, do loads of metal work, then go over the whole thing again. In the meantime, it's kind of flash rusting, so you have to go back over it again, sand it all back down again. So what I tend to do, this one, the customer's already done the metal work, so we've only got a few tidying up bits to do and some filler work and some adjustments and stuff like that. So we've cleaned up basically how it's turned up. So we've cleaned up what he's done. We're going to get it epoxied tonight. Tomorrow we'll work on one of us will work on the doors and the bonnet. I might do a separate video on the bonnet just because we can. The bonnet and boot lid and the doors, and yeah, we'll get on. Right, I'll be, well, again for you it'll be a split second, but I'll be back. If I can ever get going. Right, it's warm in here now. 28, which is better. Hopefully you can still hear me. So basically I've blown it all off, I've double checked everything. We're going to give it a panel wipe now, which is a solvent degreaser, solvent cleaner. We've mixed up the epoxy, so I'm going to pop you in the corner and you're going to have to watch me clean it. clean her. I'm just going to have one more go round it, and then we'll start putting some epoxy on. And go get my gloves. Right, I'm absolutely cooking in here. What are we on? Yes, it's running at 28 and has been for probably 20 minutes or so now. But what I can do, just 1 second. Right, see when it's working. Temperature. Just check down there as well. Yeah, so about 16 at the bottom, 21 on the top. So any moisture that was in here is now gone. Booth's very, very dry heat. So we've cleaned it twice, got my gloves on. I always like to have a quick double check around, just make sure we've got everything. I'm going to put you in the corner, and hopefully you'll see a bit of epoxy going on. And we'll see what it looks like afterwards. Right, I'm going to put you in the corner. Hello, right, back again. So hopefully you got some of that. I won't know until I get home. So now the car's epoxied in blue. So now we can have a walk round it, and it's absolutely roasting in here now. It's bloody cold outside, and then you come in here, it's roasting. So the advantage of the epoxy is, one, the corrosive properties. It also highlights everything, protects the metal. It's a no-brainer really. So anything, so this will be keyed up, completely sanded down, not sanded off, just sanded, after we've done our filler work, and then generally we'll re-epoxy to seal all the filler work in. If I hold that up there, you might be able to see what I'm doing, and then we can start our high build primer process. Everybody does everything differently. This guy wants everything sealed in. This one's going to be quite a high-end car when he's finished. He's gone through absolutely everything you'd have seen on the previous video, by the way. If you haven't seen that, need to go and watch that. So you can see it highlights, I don't know if these will show up, little dings. You can see on the front of the bumper there, wing, sorry. Can you see the dent? It highlights stuff like that. You can see on here as well. The rough old metal work. Now if it was summertime, I probably wouldn't be that bothered. It's just with it being coming up to winter time, we've got fog, it just gets so moist, and for car bodywork you don't want that. It'll trap the moisture. In fact, you can see from here on that wing, I don't know if it'll show up on the camera or not, there's like a dent on that wing. Just make it out. So yeah, both the front wings are pretty good, just a couple of dings. On the MGB there's a lot of access for the front wings, so you can normally hammer and dolly an awful lot of it out. Customers already fitted some wing lowers, so we'll have to tidy them up a little bit, just make sure they're alright. Same as the quarter as well. Again, not everybody does it this way. Like I said, two things really: winter time, and you just forget about it and you don't have to worry about it. You know, it's all sealed in. You can touch it, you can do filler work on it, you can do anything you want on top of the epoxy. Just makes for a better job. So I'll spin it round so you can see the car as a whole. So you can see it's like a dark blue now. It does, it's a tiny bit wet still, but even when it's dry it does have a little bit of a sheen on it, which is good, because then it allows you to spot a little ding there. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. Now you would have seen that, there's another one on the top there actually. You would have seen that ding in the roof once you were blocking your primer. You'd have ended up with a high spot, but now we've seen it now, we can deal with it quickly. That filler's got, sorry, that roof's got no filler in it at all, and if we can keep it that way, that'd be even better. A lot of these end up with a bit in the wings and quarters just to tidy them more so. When they came out of the factory they weren't the best anyway. We always make sure the gaps are right, everything's the same level. So sometimes you have to build stuff up or take stuff off, move stuff to get it right. Some of you eagle-eyed people might have noticed I haven't actually done the inside of the arch. That's because the customers painted in there and I didn't want it all blowing in there. So once we've finished messing around on the top, we'll mask it properly, and then we'll deal with them afterwards, just in case somebody was eyeballing them. Right, so it's home time. I'm going to leave this overnight now. Should be drying off in the morning, and then we can start on the bonnet, which is aluminium and steel tailgate and steel doors. We are waiting on the door skin, so you'll see that anyway in another video. Right, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.